Alright, bear with me. I'm just a little tired. I actually had to do work today. It's terrible. Actually, I enjoyed it. It's a little wet. But, you know, there's a lot of wet things that I enjoy. So I can't count that against it. Like wet burritos. Alright, what am I doing? Doing some shit, right? Doing some shit? No, dog. Gotta go do this. This is all low-level shit, bruh. Yeah, bruh. You know, I think all these trannies took the whole yeah, brah, a little too seriously. Okay, that was stupid. I'm sorry. That was fucking dumb. I only apologize for bad jokes. That was one of them. So anyway, let me load up some more Mad season. Who doesn't love some Mad season? I just love Mad season.
I covered in a previous episode. It's tied behind an interesting quest chain, and there's more to them than meets the eye, or eyes rather, so let's get into it. So, similar to the hunter weapons, it all starts in the Molten Core raid, even from the same boss. From the second to last boss in the raid, Major Domo Executus, there's a chance for a special item to drop. For priests, it's called the Eye of Divinity. A curious trinket with no stats, but with the flavor text. You can see movement when you peer into the eye, and if you click on it, you get the following text and clue for your next destination.
I have a crit in my
When you
pocket.
peer into the eye, images of a great battle fill your mind. This terrifying conflict appears to be taking place somewhere in Lordaeron. You can barely make out a lone female figure standing amidst 1,000 corpses, fending off a sea of scourge. She is hopelessly outnumbered. Tendrils of light escape her hands, cutting through the undead by the hundreds. All for naught, it would seem. Moments later, the priestess is swarmed by the corpses of the peasants that were surrounding her. The fallen have risen. So, a lone priestess battling undead somewhere in Lordaeron. Again, very vague, just like the ancient petrified leaf from a previous episode, and had it not been for handy websites such as Thoughtbot or word of mouth, finding exactly where the heck you were supposed to go was a challenge to say the least. Well, a good place as any to start looking
So where's
is
it
in
at
the
here?
Eastern Plaguelands. It's a high-level
Just
zone,
outside the
and it has
entrance?
undead. And
Just
if
outside
you
the
look
entrance
earlier
in a
through it,
while might
you'll
mean
notice
like
an
way over
NPC
here,
named
even though it's like
Irritating
right
Fire
there.
in the very northwestern part of the zone near
But we'll see.
Stratholme, only visible to priests who have the Eye of Divinity equipped. This is the priestess that we saw.
I'm basically gonna try to put all these on complete before I turn them in. I'm not doing dire mall today though, I can tell you that much. I'm probably gonna try to do all these quests
Accepting it started a gauntlet of sorts, and similar to the Hunter quest,
And I'll do
when you
Dire Maul
entered the
tomorrow.
area, everything would despawn and you would fail the quest. This one was much
I
more
still have the
harsh,
key,
though,
right?
because another person just needed to be within the immediate area, and a demon called the
Think that's
Cleaner would
it.
spawn and wipe out everyone. So, if someone wanted to mess up your day, it was very easy, or if they just wanted to try and help and didn't know. It was a very fragile event, so if you were to start it, you better be prepared. The quest
So what's over
requires a
here?
combination of both damage and healing, so having a talent specialization of both holy and
Oh, there's a
discipline was a
turn-in.
common strategy. When you started it,
I
a
think I
group
can
of
kill
friendly
this
peasants
warrior,
will
though.
spawn in front of the cave.
Oh,
Your
can't
goal
kill
is
that.
to get them
Nope.
safely to a beacon of light. By healing them, by killing attacking enemies, and by abolishing diseases. There are two different ranks of diseases, purple and green. The purple one deals much more damage than the green one, and you had to dispel those immediately if you saw them active. Another danger are enemy spawns that will attack you and
I
your
could probably
peasants.
1v1 that warrior,
These of
though.
course had to be killed as well, and even items like the Stratholm Holy Water were useful here. Anything to help with undead enemies. And also, on the route to the beacon are untargetable skeletal archers that deal constant damage to the peasants. So, you have to cleanse the diseases, kill undead, and heal the peasants until you get 50 across safely without letting 15 or more die. It was pretty challenging during that race
Yes.
here, and consumables/buffs from other players were very helpful. But if you were successful, you would be awarded with a special item called the Splinter of Nordrassil, which reads a tiny fragment of the World Tree. Just to throw some lore into this video, Nordrassil is the original World Tree, which you found atop the Mount Hyjal zone. This was a mystical tree that had great healing powers, and it gave the Night Elves their immortality. During the Third War, however, to stop Archimonde, Malfurion Stormraid sacrificed the tree's power of immortality. It was heavily damaged, and a new tree called Teldrassil was grown to replace it, and unless someone lights it on fire, we should be good to go. Oh, wait a second. So, even just a splinter of Nordrassil holds incredible power. Now we just need to bring it out. We have to use it in combination with two items, the Eye of Divinity, which we have, and another item called the Eye of Shadow, which we don't have yet. We have a few options for this. It drops off of the world boss, Lord Kazakh, at a 40%
Well, they're getting
rate.
fucked up.
He spawns in the Blasted Land zone, and being
Shit.
the world boss, there was a lot of competition to take him down. So, your guild would have to be on the lookout for him. Another option was to farm it at a much lower rate off of
Oh, I
the
didn't mean to
enemies in the
do
Winter
that. Don't
Spring
be
and
lame.
Blasted Land zones. The demons in these areas had around a 1% chance to drop the Eye of Shadow, so this too was an option, although usually it required a small
Fuck.
group to farm them efficiently.
I didn't get to hit my
And your
pot.
last option was to just buy it off of the auction house.
I need better
It wasn't
hotkey
fine,
placement,
so
and I
this was
don't
always a
know
choice
what
as
the
well
fuck
if
to
you had
even
the
do
gold.
at this point.
And, in fact, it was a pretty good way to make gold back then, if I recall correctly.
I only have a 10 keyless.
But getting all three of these items together allowed you to make the Benediction/Anathema staff. And just like the initial release of Rockdalar and Lockdalar, using it would switch between the two staves. Benediction was aimed for healing priests, either holy or discipline, and Anathema was for shadow
Babs.
priests. Light and shadow, just like the quest. Really cool models in my opinion. Anathema had this native green glow, and Benediction has this bright yellow glow. They definitely stood out from the other staves in the game. We need to get Kralnor's opinion on that one though. So, that's about it. That's the story of Anathema, Benediction, and everything surrounding them. A cool thing worth mentioning though is that the Eye of Divinity has some Easter eggs tied to it. If you had it equipped in the Zul Aman raid, you would see some special ghost NPCs. And in Shatrath next to Harris Pilton, you can see a ghost named Rakol Nichi. And I'm sure many more that I don't know about. Feel free to share them if I missed any. Anyways, that's all I got for you for this episode. I hope you found the video interesting or entertaining. Like it if you liked it, and I'll see you in Mad Season here, back with another episode in the Azeroth Arsenal. This is a series where I go over the story behind some of the more iconic weapons in the game's history, both in-game and out-of-game, and in this episode we'll be covering the legendary Warglaives of Azeroth from the Burning Crusade expansion. These were the first legendaries in the expansion, not counting the Kil'Thas ones, and they were unique in the sense that they're part of an actual set, and is believed by many to have the most impressive looking models in the entire game. But before we get into how to actually get the weapons, as usual, let's talk about their history and that of their wielders. The original wielder was not Illidan Stormrage like you may have guessed, but rather a demon by the name of, well, Azzinoth. The story behind him is that he was a powerful lieutenant in the War of the Ancients. This was the Burning Legion's first invasion upon Azeroth, which Illidan, along many others, was a belligerent of. We don't really know too much about Azzinoth's confrontation with Illidan, other than the fact that he was slain by him, and that Illidan absorbed his power because in the Gul'dan fight in Nighthold Mythic mode, some adds called soul fragments of Azzinoth will spawn, and here you can see what he actually looked like. Oddly enough though, his official art depicts him as a Terror Guard rather than a Doom Guard, so there's a little discrepancy there. So, it was Azzinoth who was the original wielder, not Illidan. They are of course part of a set, 2 one-handers classified as swords, and in the lore, you're supposed to be able to combine them into one weapon, sort of like a giant shuriken. Although, as far as I know, we've never actually seen that happen in-game. So, Azzinoth was slain, and his glaives were taken by Illidan Stormrage, so let's talk about him for a bit, since I think to fully appreciate the epicness of these weapons, it's important to know about their wielder. Now, this character, as many of you know I'm sure, has just a huge amount of lore and story tied behind him. For the sake of keeping this video more about the glaives rather than Illidan, I'll give you a very abridged telling of his story. So, Illidan, as we know him in-game, is the final boss of the Black Temple raid, one of the big bads of the Burning Crusade expansion, Lord of the Outland, and Master Detector of Duplicity. He's the first demon hunter and brother of Malfurion Stormrage. He originally was a sorcerer, and in Legion, you learned some of the backstory with him, and how his hatred of the Burning Legion and his thirst for power sort of blinded him and turned him into a ruthless killing machine. Not necessarily a bad guy, but not a good guy either. An anti-hero is the way that I would describe him. So, he fought alongside his brother Malfurion and other allies during the War of the Ancients. He eventually defected to the Burning Legion in an attempt to destroy them from within. It was because of this he gained the title the Betrayer, and he was imprisoned below Mount Hyjal, where he was watched over by Maiev Shadowsong for 10,000 years. Azeroth eventually prevailed in the War of the Ancients, and after those 10,000 years in prison, he was freed by his friend Tyrande Whisperwind to aid Azeroth.
I think I'll try over here. Oh wait, who are these guys?
Upon Azeroth.
Runners? I don't need
He
runners.
came to battle the Dreadlord Tychondrius, and in doing so, he absorbed the fell energies held within the powerful Skull of Gul'dan artifact. He gained great powers and defeated the Dreadlord, but at a great cost. He turned into a demon, and his appearance changed to the form that we all recognize today. He sacrificed everything to protect his
some of
his allies, but was banished by his brother Malfurion for once again taking it too far. He eventually fled to the Outland, where he overthrew its ruler, Megtheridon, and he allied with the former prince of Kolthalas, Kael'thas Sunstrider, and started amassing forces to destroy the Burning Legion once and for all. So, as I said, in-game we see him as the final boss of the Black Temple raid in the Burning Crusade expansion. But, to get to him, you have to go through several extremely challenging fights, and to even zone into the Black Temple, you initially had to go through an extremely challenging attuning process requiring other raids. It wasn't the final raid of the Burning Crusade, that was the Sunwell, but it certainly was one of the hardest.
If I split down the middle here.
Illidan sits atop the temple, peering into the Skull of Gul'dan, the artifact that made him into what he is today. and with the demon-slaying warglaives in hand, he battled it out with 25 adventurers in a 4-phase fight. In the middle of it, he takes to the sky and throws his glaives to the ground, summoning some flame elementals of Azeroth. But eventually, with the help of his former jailer, Mage, you take him down. And if you're very lucky, you'll drop either the left or right warglaive of Azeroth. So, you have the main hand and the offhand. The set bonus has a chance to give you some haste for 10 seconds on attacks, and appropriately, a passive to increase attack power when fighting demons. As for the models, they're quite stunning even to this day. Definitely one of the more flashy weapons in the game at the time. Huge models and a bright green fel glow. During vanilla, there were a few NPCs in the game that used glaives. You could find them in the Diremaul instance, and everyone always wanted them. I think just the idea of having a double-bladed weapon was just so cool, and the warglaives of Azeroth just took that to the extreme. In fact, someone wanted them so badly that he offered to buy another player's account which had the glaives for nearly 7,000 euro, which was around 10,000 US dollars at the time. The trade was made, and shortly after, the account was banned for account sharing. Now those are some expensive pixels. And just like many others in this series, it had its own card in the official trading card game. 3 of them actually, the left, right, and the set. A legendary appearance to match its legendary rarity, dropped from a legendary character, and a legendary expansion. So that's about it for this one. That's the story of the warglaives of Azeroth, and that of their wielders. This is where I normally would end it, but for the next first one I wanted to talk about is actually a set. As a vanilla rogue, I gotta talk about the Dalaran sword set. Before raiding, this was pretty much the sword set to have as a combat rogue, and I think it was also sought after by Fury warriors. I believe hunters also wanted it for the stats, although I imagine that there would be some pretty angry rogues if they were in the group. They were pretty unique because they were a weapon set, which was weird. Armor sets were common, but weapons? You didn't see that too often. We do have some lore and references tied behind them. Dalrend is the full name of Rend Blackhand, who's the son of the former war chief of the Horde, Blackhand the Destroyer. He's been hanging out in the Blackrock Mountain along with his clan, hoping to overthrow Thrall for the title of war chief one day, based on his lineage. Sort of a Game of Thrones mindset, but without the incest, as far as I know anyways.
I'm not sure where the other ones are, and I've done this quest before. I don't remember. It's a tragedy.
So, he allied himself with Nefarian and the Dark Horde, which was what the inhabitants of the Blackrock Spire called themselves, and has been biding his time and waiting for a moment to strike. The Upper Blackrock Spire was one of the first raids in vanilla. Only 15 man, but still a raid, and it was filled with some tough fights. Rend Blackhand himself takes on the adventurers in a gauntlet type of fight.
Wait, what?
Where you're assaulted by waves of chromatic dragonkin. If you survive the initial onslaught, you fight
It's like the same quest.
named Gith. At the time, there was a rumor going around that he would drop his mount, but that only came true a few expansions later with the Experiment 12B mount from Dragon Soul, which is a reference to Gith. And the other parts of the names, the Sacred Charge and
So
Tribal
weird.
Guardian, is a reference to Blizzard's
It's almost the
action
same
RPG,
quest.
Diablo 2 with the sword set, Bolcathos' Sacred Charge, and Tribal Guardian. Anyways, back to the weapons.
Maybe they'll
The
tell me
main
where
hand
they
had a
are.
slow 2.8 speed, which is what you wanted in your main hand back then for big hits. It also had 1% critical strike, back when those stats were percentage based, and some strength, which would make you think
They're
it was
drawn to
warriors.
springs.
But remember, this is vanilla, and rogues were the most viable DPS spec, so it was better in their hands, plus they still got some attack power from the strength. I might be a little biased though, since I played a rogue back then, like I said, so who knows, maybe it was equally good for rogues and warriors. The offhand was a fast 1.8 speed, and had some defensive stats on it. So at first glance, you would think that this is for a tank, right? Well, the problem here is that it's offhand only, so you couldn't use it with the shield. The itemization back then was all over the place, and it was up to the players to decide who got the most benefit from which item. Except hunters, of course. They don't get that right. The set bonus was 50 attack power, which was pretty huge back then. That would be 50 points worth of agility, minus the crit, so nothing to sneeze at. So, these were the weapons to have pre-raid as a combat rogue. And, believe it or not, the look was quite impressive back then. When most weapons looked like this, getting something that looked like this was a pretty big deal. Blizzard liked the model enough that it was reused for the Viscage the Bloodletter sword that dropped from the Onyxia's Lair raid, another great one-hander for rogues. The drop rates for both of the swords were quite low as I remember. Even though they were just blue, I believe they had just a 5-ish% drop rate for each one. The next item on our list is the Fell Striker, also dropped from Rend Blackhand. It was originally called the Death Striker before the name was changed for some reason. But what made this one special, as you can see, is while it didn't have any stats, it had an amazing proc. For every hit, you had a chance that all attacks are guaranteed to land and to be critical strikes for 3 seconds. This was pretty insane because even landing hits back then was tough if you didn't have enough of the hit stat. And even still, level 63s and bosses were also harder to hit in general due to how weapon skills worked. So basically, everyone wanted it. Combat rogues for the offhand, assassination rogues of course, fury warriors, and yes, even hunters. Hunters wanted everything back then. The proc rate was roughly 4%, and it wasn't unique, meaning that you could equip 2 of them. So, one of the best daggers in the game, probably even through the first few raid tiers due to the proc, and if you ran into a rogue with these in PvP, you were in for a painful time.
Never that easy, is it?
And, just like many other weapons in the series, it got its own card in the trading card game, which is pretty neat.
At least I didn't spawn
That,
in Fellwood again.
Don't even try it, hunters. Since we're talking about Rend, we may as well talk about all of his drops. Another interesting item that dropped not from him, but rather his Drake, was called the Chromatic Carapace, which wasn't an armor or a weapon, but a quest item. Not too far away from Rend's room, you can find an injured whelp named Abi, who's related to the Carapace. The Chromatic Dragonflight, whom he just got done fighting, are the result of unnatural experimentations by Nefarian, with Chromagus in the Blackwing Lair raid being one of the biggest abominations. They're created by using the blood of dragons from different dragonflights, and Abi is one of the many of the blue dragonflight that were captured by Nefarian. It asks you to travel to the Winter Spring Zone and use its skill to teleport to the matron of the blue dragonflight, Hala. She would send you on a series of quests that would eventually award you with some epic armor of your choice, the breastplate or leg plates of the Chromatic Flight. To complete these, you need the Chromatic Carapace, which dropped from Gith at a 2% drop rate, and you also needed 10 brilliant chromatic scales, dropped and skinned from the Chromatic Dragonflight you just fought, and also skinned off of Chromagus in the Blackwing Lair. You also need Blood of Heroes, Skins of Shadow, and Frayed Abomination Stitchlings depending on what armor piece you're going for, the legs or the chest. You may remember these materials in my Hardest Grinds video. You got the Blood of Heroes from the Eastern Plaguelands. They were spread throughout the zone on the ground, and when you picked them up, you would get ambushed by elite NPCs. The Skins of Shadow dropped from the Scholomance dungeon at a low rate, and the Stitchlings from the Stratholme dungeon from the Abominations, as you would guess. The breastplate was a plate chest that gave quite a lot of stamina, strength, agility, and fire resistance. It was actually really good for quite a while, especially for fire resist fights like Ragnaros. If you opted for the male legs instead, you had a choice between intellect or agility with resistances to each school of magic. One is aimed towards hunters and enhancement shamans, and the other for elemental and restoration shamans. This quest was removed along with many other things in the Cataclysm expansion, but it's remembered as a cool little addition to the Blackrock Spire raid. I actually got the Carapace on my paladin. I was the last of several people to roll. One guy rolled a 99, and I miraculously rolled a 100 after him. Sadly, I never finished it though, so it was a big waste. Sorry, random guy from 13 years ago. And since we're still talking about Rend, I got one more for you, and that's the Blackhand Doomsaw. There's really not a huge story tied behind this one, but
You gotta
I
be
thought it was
kidding me.
worth mentioning still, mainly because of the look. This was the trusty weapon of Rend Blackhand himself, and he had a chance to drop it. As far as weapon models went, it looked quite nice. It was a polearm
Like
kit
how they
with
just
runes
spawned there
etched
right
onto
after
the
I
blade
did.
itself, and ribbons hanging off of the handle. It had a fairly slow speed and a damage proc, which made it a good starter weapon for fresh 60s, and you would see a lot of paladins and warriors wielding it. It was the pre-Arcanite Reaper, and people would jokingly call it the Blackhand Noob Saw since it was so common. One of the staples for vanilla two-handers. It was also used by the great Leroy Jenkins, so that must mean it's amazing, right? So, all of these weapons are no longer available thanks to the Warlords of Draenor revamp of the dungeon and Cataclysm in the case of the Chromatic Carapace questline. The Doomsaw was actually preserved as a re-release called the Blackhand Doomcutter, a drop from the new revamped dungeon, and another one called Lantrezor's Warblade from a quest in the Burning Crusade expansion. The Dal Ren set was also acknowledged as an heirloom, so these weapons made their mark in the game for sure. Maybe not intricate enough to warrant their own videos, but still worth talking about, I think. So, that's about it for this one, I guess. Maybe I'll call this the Rend Blackhand edition. The dude had quite the stock of interesting items. Lots of potential for other weapons for sure. I do have quite the list, including the Arcanite Reaper, the Iron Foe,
What is this?
Iskandi,
Winterfall
etc.
activity?
But I'm always open to suggestions, so if you have any, by all means share them and you might see them in the follow-up. I hope you found the video interesting or entertaining. Like it if you liked it, and I'll see you in the next episode of the Azeroth Arsenal. That they conquered the Four Horsemen, the hardest bosses in the entire raid, simply due to the fact that you needed 8 tanks to beat them. Needless to say, they went unkilled for most guilds, and only a select few
Yeah,
still
they're all
got
over
that
there.
kills
I
could
never
say
would have
they
known.
conquered the Four
Ever.
Horsemen, and even fewer could say that they obtained this mythical weapon.
That's fine.
Wielded by the great Alexandros Mograine, the Ashbringer weapon
Now I know.
would become famous for its power to slay any undead creature, obliterating them into ash with a single swing. As for Mograine, he was the former High Lord of the Silver Hand, which was an order of paladins created after the First War by Uther the Lightbringer. He first laid eyes on the Ashbringer in the form of a dark orb in the possession of a nameless orc warlock. An artifact of shadow, it was of no use to a paladin of the Silver Hand in its current form, but in an attempt to destroy it, Mograine and his companions purged the crystal with a holy spell. Instead of shattering it, however, it reacted to the light and became a physical manifestation of holy magic, which had the power to heal any wound and smite any undead creature. He then traveled to Ironforge and asked the great smith, Magni Bronzebeard, to forge a weapon from the crystal, and thus the Ashbringer was born. It was then that Alexandros was appointed the High Lord of the Knights of the Silver Hand, and with Ashbringer in hand, he led the fight against the Lich King, slaying countless of his undead minions, no matter how powerful. Having caught wind of this, however, the Lich Lord Kel'Thuzad hatched a devious plan. He had one of his agents corrupt Alexandros' son, Renault Mograine, and turned him into an agent of the Lich King. He led his father into Stratholme, where he had set up a Scourge ambush. Miraculously, Alexandros was able to fend off the ambush. However, after battle, in complete exhaustion, he dropped his weapon, leaving himself vulnerable, and by the hands of his own son was slain. It was then that the Ashbringer was corrupted into the dark form that we saw in game. Alexandros would wield the corrupted blade in death, but this time as an agent of Kel'Thuzad, the very lich who turned his own son against him. He was one of the 4 horsemen that you faced in the fight.
Oh,
His
got some
companions
competition
included
over here.
Torthez, Lady Blamio, and Sir Zeliek, all former paladins
Really?
who fell at the hands of the Scourge. As I said, a relentlessly difficult fight at the time. Each horseman had a stacking debuff that would eventually
Yeah, just
one-shot
keep
you,
walking
so
away.
typically, guilds used a strategy
Keep on walking.
employing 8 tanks, taunt swapping whenever they got too high of stacks. Although there were alternate, but typically less practical strategies using fewer tanks. And like I said, they were at the end of the Death Knight wing after the Instructor Vesuvius and Gothic the Harvester, so even making it to them.
I did turn proximity spawning off, right? I'm pretty sure I did. You know, I'll just leave it as it was.
Was an impossible feat for many. The method of obtaining
Because it's
the weapon
basically
was
turned
fairly
off now. There's
straightforward.
no like direct
It's
disable
not
for
like
that for
Arctic,
some
where you
reason.
had to collect a bunch of splinters and then go on this quest chain. It simply dropped from the
I
fight.
just have to guess.
So definitely more common than the legendary staff, but it did have some unique properties. It was a pretty impressive 90 damage per second weapon with a slower 3.6 speed, which is what you wanted back then, and it was also one of the few weapons that had negative stats. It cursed the wielder with a penalty to stamina, which was definitely sizable, and it also had critical strike and a lifesteal proc, and most interesting is the affix on equip. Inflicts the will of the Ashbringer upon the wielder. This triggered a curse upon the player, and they would occasionally hear whispers in their head from Mogren's damned spirit
Oh,
itself.
that's lovely. I got like what, 3 other horde bots right over there, and this guy just walks right in. Anyway, I'm done with this video. I don't want to hear the Ashbringer speak until I have it. I've already heard it enough. Still over here? Like how he just comes in, kills me, and then dips out. Oh, it's just you. Thought it was something serious. Except I am gonna have to do this. And I'm gonna have to do this. Just to get my bearings for a moment here. Hate getting nuked by other casters. It's annoying. Oh, you're dead. So this counts towards both of them? That's nice. Yep. Appears my UI is a little bugged, but that's okay. Of course he resists. Oh, I still have these. Awesome. Oh, you do heal. There's alliance out there. That's all I know. If I remember right, the Ursus hurt like hell. I've been forgetting vanilla logic where you need to kill everything on the way to and from wherever you're going. It's very important. I don't know where that dude went. Okay, caster goes last. I have so many damn quests here. Almost want to try him, but I know he's just gonna resist everything I do. I need to wait for him to walk by again, because he's just gonna turn around up there, probably. Alright, I got a little bit of time here. Same thing, except it's two Ursas. One of these has like a rage, I'm pretty sure. I could have sworn it was the Ursas, but I guess not. Oh, fuck you. Hold on. No, I'm gonna have to fight you. I should have time. Nope, I don't have time. Oh, they're all just respawning. Okay. I might die here, but I'm gonna die somewhere nice. Yeah, there's like, wow, okay, yeah. Just all respawned right there. I'm actually up a lot higher right here. Oh, you're just like right there? Okay. Just fucking resist everything. 4 levels ahead of me. It's very chaotic. And you know he's just gonna res right behind me too, except he's still there. You know what? You're in my guild. You're gonna do as I say. And you're gonna stay there. In fact, you're gonna stay right here. I don't need you helping me. I have to wait for this guy to go by again. How many Ursas do I have? 3. I only need 2 more shamans, so that's nice. Oh, I just realized I don't have frost armor on for him. I really need to upgrade that. That's my next talent thing. This should be fine. Or not. So I have to absolutely have to sheep him. That's okay. I understand that now. Absolutely have to. Do I even need any more? No. And that camp over there has 2 Ursas. So in reality, I should probably just switch over here. Doing it again. Oh, and he just happens to be there. No, I'm getting my Ursa kill. What I deserve. Actually, I might be able to kill him too if he keeps following me. No. Liable just to wait for these to spawn since I have them in an off spawn now. One's gonna spawn a little bit sooner than the other. Okay, he should be respawning any second then. I only need 2 more of these. I don't know what the fuck you're doing there. You're not supposed to be there. Was that chest over there? It is. How about that? Are these spawns random? Oh, fuck me. I did not know that. And now I'm probably gonna die. Because it takes forever. Oh, wait. Wait. He has to heal now, right? Or no, I just kill him. Okay. Actually, I have to do this. There's no way I can kill this guy with both of them trying to kill me. Oh, fuck. He's liable to come over here now. Oh, left combat. The one ended up spawning over here, of course. So now I gotta cross this path again. Without aggroing anything. And all I gotta do is kill one of these and run. Should be simple enough, right? Shit, I'll kill both of them. Now I gotta run for the hills. I only need den watchers now, so I actually there's at least 2 den watchers over there, so I just kill 2 over here. And then I should be fine. I'll let him out of my party now. Give him a quick promotion. Oh, there is some down here too, but oh shit. Never mind. The good news is there's enough over here to where once I kill them all, they'll be respawning. Yeah, you know what? No. What are you, paladin? Oh, I can't kill you. Even if I wanted to, which I do, but I can't. Really? That shit. Hopefully I'm timing this just right. Ooh, looks like I am. Whatever. I don't win against paladins anyway. That's probably as close as I've ever gotten though. Okay, is he gone? Hopefully. Maybe, possibly. Always something around here. If it's not bullshit mobs, it's alliance. That's fine. I'll keep on keeping on. It's what Joe Dirt would want. Oh, he might just burn to death. Yep. I don't want anything to do with you. I don't want to waste time or mana on that shit. Reset. Thank you. Really? Take care of it. Let me bring in some more. I need a summon macro. That's what I really, really need. I've actually been needing that for a while, but I've been procrastinating it. Someone trying to whack me? Looks like it. Mm-hmm. Fuck them up. Let's kill them all while you're at it. I need this. Oh, I stole it. Oh, I still need that Pathfinder, so. I need one more Pathfinder. So that's nice. The shitty part is I'm playing vanilla, so I have to kill everything to and from wherever I'm going. Which isn't necessarily shitty, but I don't know. You have to do it religiously, and I think if you only had to do it, you know, half the time. To be fair, I haven't even been doing it for like 2 levels, maybe. Well, I think I've done it for 2 levels now. I don't think I've done it for 3. This whole leveling period for this whole tune. I think I've only done it for 2 or 3 levels. So I could have been doing it sooner when it was more convenient, rather than doing it now. And for that, that's my fault, but it's still inconvenient. There's another spring over here. Alright, I got one more crit left. Or I guess I had to. I don't know. You know, I don't see myself pulling 2 out of here, so let's just do this. Oh, you would resist it, you asshole. One, two. The nice thing, if you're doing it from A to B, it's usually not an inconvenience. Usually. I think I might exclude greens from this idea. So they just don't give that much. Granted, I do have rested XP right now, so maybe I should include greens. That one gave me 500 something. How much does this one give me? $608. Difference of like 70, I think. So yeah, I should kill greens too. I turn in 2 quests at this guy.
How are you? Keep your feet on the ground. Welcome. Be good.
To the northwest. Okay. Oh, you guys can leave my guild. Or leave the party now. Uh, okay. That was a lot further down than I wanted to fall. And I can't see shit because I'm clipping through trees. I'm gonna assume he's not over there. Oh, Paladin? Yeah. I like how he just becomes immune, like he knows. Can only do so much, Mr. Paladin. I'm just fighting fire with fire, guys. That's all I'm doing. Mic check. Okay. It looked like it wasn't reading. And I couldn't remember if I checked it earlier or not. Spam that one key and occasionally push 2. Spam the one key. Occasionally push 2. Occasionally. Ah. Still looking for a very specific mob here. Can't get up over here. No. I might be able to get up if I like squeeze right into here. There we go. Well, that bear refuses to die, huh? It's almost more efficient to fight a bunch of greens than it is to fight a bunch of mobs closer to my level. Because the difference is like 70 XP. $80 XP. Oh, it's just a random chest right here. I'm assuming I'm supposed to keep adventuring around the side of the mountain here, maybe? Because I'm not seeing this bear. That's not to the northwest. Yeah, that's not to the northwest. That's northeast or north. He's literally over here. I would have been that guy in global chat asking, "Hey, where's this bear at?" Oh, I wonder if he's up on like top or what. Oh, here, I can get us some help, mister. Never fear.
That's still recharging. Can't cast that yet.
Is that my bear? No. That's actually not even the person I meant to promote. Oops. Really? Oh, it's a raging owl beast too. He's gonna hurt like hell here in a second. Maybe. No. He's gonna die. That's fine too. It's an Elder Shard Tooth. I'm assuming I'm getting closer. Hopefully. There he is.
They can't join our group.
I can't see what's going on at all. I'm actually kind of rooting for the Alliance on this one so I can get my bear. Oh shit. I'm gonna need to summon in some level 60s. Wow. Never mind. No, fuck you. You're late. If I could, I'd demote you. Alright, well, where's my bear? I'm most concerned about that.
They can't join our crew.
None of them can res. Oh, that's why. I'm just looking for a fucking bear. I don't know what all this shit's about. That's all I care about. Getting this one bear. Yep, there's the mauler, and I came across the way here. And it was probably killed by one of the bots. And who knows what the respawn time on it is. So I'm just gonna kind of circle around. Oh, there he is. Alright, yeah, you guys party with that for a second. I got a bear to track down. I should only need a fireball. And where do I get the pristine Yeti horns again? Cave to the southeast. You know what? How about I just look it up? You don't seem to know where it fucking is. Be right back. Oh, those are down over here. Okay. Um, no, I'm pretty sure they're past this, but I'll run through it anyway. Oh, a dead end. How nice. Would never have guessed. It's like a lot of Yetis. Oh, this is gonna suck. You fucking serious? And I'm ganked.
They can't join our group. They can't join our group. They can't join our group. We can't invite anyone else.
Fuck him up. Why aren't we killing him? Oh, there's a bunch of them here. Here, let me convert to a raid real quick. And I'll try to get everybody else.
They can't join our group. They can't join our group.
Do I even need anyone else? You know, let's just make sure. Isn't there like a cave or something? Or are these really the only ones? No, they're not the only ones. They're the only, two of the only four, maybe. Unless there's more up here. Oh, I need more mana. It's done though. You gonna give me that horn or what?
I can't use that item yet. That's still recharging.
Horn? No? Well, fuck you too. Gonna end up getting trapped in here.
Isn't ready yet. That's still recharging.
Are you in my guild? No. Well, now you are. Whatever. Everybody can just leave. Not promoting anyone. Nope. Don't care. There we go. No, 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 no. Not taking this from me. I had to go out of rotation for that, and I still didn't even get a horn. What's the drop rate on this? 25%? I don't think so. I think it's less than that. Still nothing. It's not really worth going back in there. Maybe. I don't know. Let me just aggro both of these. Fight both of them at once. Not really a big deal. They don't do any damage. If I don't level up after I turn all this shit in, I'm gonna be disappointed. There we go. There's one of them.
I can't carry anymore.
Oh, you can and you will. Nope. There's actually a decent amount of patriarchs and matriarchs in here. Surely one of these two will have it. You would think. Wildhead really doesn't know what the fuck they're talking about when it comes to drop chance. Though if I did increase everything to Wildhead's drop chance, it would probably be a lot better. Uh-oh. Did somebody pull my shit before I did? Yeah, of course. Because there's just a bot over there. Just hide out over there. No big deal. Now I probably won't get it from any of these. That's fine. You know what? No? Okay. I was hoping I could just grab it if the matriarch over there dropped it and then run away, but no. It didn't drop it. Go figure. Still no. The good news is the matriarchs at the entrance should be respawning. We can just keep this going until we get it. Oh. Yeah, pull that Yeti for me. I appreciate that. I need to come over here and drink. In case this bot tries to run up by me. Actually, you know what? He will. They always do. Now I go back down. He's probably already fighting the shit that respawned down here. No? Yes? Yep, he did. Oh, I pulled both of them. That's nice.
Charge in. That spell isn't ready yet.
Ooh. Give me the horn. No.
That spell isn't ready yet. Charge in. Cast that yet. I can't use that item yet. Not enough mana.
Still not get it. Even after all that. Is gonna come over here and smack me? Good.
Ready yet.
I'm definitely leveling once I complete all these. There's just no way I'm not. I'm pretty sure each quest is at least 1 bar. Pretty sure. I don't see why it wouldn't be. Now my retreat's kind of cut off. That's fine. As long as it's with shit I need.
I can't carry anymore.
Oh, he's still down here? That's fine. Not really, but that's fine. I'm not gonna get the fucking drop anyway. I'm not gonna do the shards or anything yet. I'm just gonna turn in what I have. There we go. Okay, so where do I need to go? Overlook, right? I could probably ignore that one for right now. Yeah, we'll go to Overlook. I should ding from the shit. I might not though. That's a lot of XP. That's still over 30,000. Actually, I'll go here first. No, I'll go to Overlook. Alright, anymore. Turn this shit in. Turn all of it in. I'm gonna abandon that. Fuck that shit. Really? I'm gonna end up getting whacked by the bruisers here.
Greetings, traveler. May the eternal sun shine upon
Have a good one.
Alright, so where's my Yeti? Um, where's the other turn-ins at? Timber Mall? Alright, I'm just gonna go Blood Venom. If I do this quest, I can probably hit 57. A big probably, though.
blood and thunder. For the
Should be 2 to turn in here, I think.
What do you need? Dabu. Go forth.
Oh, that's nice, because I was going that way anyway.
Strength and honor.
Oh, we gotta go Temper Maul first. And then I'll probably teleport to Thunder Bluff. Yep. There'll be 3 turn-ins. That's definitely gonna be 57. Really? There's probably a whole bunch of Alliance guarding this entrance as usual. Yep, there's one. He's gonna frostbolt me because he's a fucking piece of shit.
That steel may charge in.
Alright, 22 now. Just give me the plate. Is that repeatable or something? Oh no, I'm not doing that. No. Just take my ass to Thunder Bluff.
How? Winds be at your back. Well met.
I can sell all this shit now.
Farewell.
It's almost not worth mounting because I'm just gonna go right over here.
What brings you here? Farewell.
And now I need to go 2 more places and then back to Everlook. And that will give me my 57.
What brings you here? Go in.
After this, I'm probably getting off.
Like, I can think of a couple that would want probably something signed by him. So I brought. You're so young in your film career, but already people are just blown away by your work, anticipating the next one. That's how it was for me after Hereditary. I was frothing at the bit for Midsommar, and I was frothing at the bit for Beau Was Afraid. And I don't want to blow smoke, but it does not disappoint.
Thank you. That's good.
Yeah. There's something at the root of all these films which I related to immediately as I started thinking more and more after every film. It's all about family stories. It's all about situations that happen with families. It's and I think that's one of the things that I love about your movies is that a lot of people will label them as this and that, but they're family dramas. things that'll happen between characters that everyone can kind of relate to, depending on how your childhood was. And when I watched Hereditary, I could understand, feeling a certain way about a certain child, and being a parent, maybe liking this child more than that child at that time. And there's just so many themes that run through. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. Yeah, no, I'm good.
For you, is it important to tell those kind of stories and kind of wrap them in that genre? Is it something that you really try to do, or you just try to make movies that tell stories?
Yeah, I mean, I just try to tell stories. And I mean, I it's true that the 3 films I've made so far are steeped in
Family. Yeah.
family stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I also think it's kind of hard to get away from family.
Of course, yeah.
In any sort of storytelling. I mean, or just relationships in general. Like what I don't know how you get away from it. And
Right.
and the most fraught relationships are the ones that we have with the people closest to us.
Right.
And in some ways, I mean, I don't know. I feel like Bo feels like an end of the road
Yeah.
that maybe began with Hereditary. So it's in a way it feels like some sort of completion.
Right. Right.
So and I know that the next films I plan on making move away from those things.
Right.
Not entirely, but yeah.
Because I think a lot of people, when and everybody's always looking to categorize things. It's, I don't know, if compartmentalize, and then you look at something like Hereditary, and then you look at something like Midsommar, and a lot of people are saying, well, they're companion films. One's in the dark, one's in the light. But Bo, I felt just kind of, it just felt like it had a lot more. It just breathed more. It just went all over the place. It didn't really. It was really, really hard to categorize, and I think in a way, it's great because artistically you're able to do what you want. It really, really felt like you were able to go there and do what you wanted. You didn't have too many people telling you, really, like, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that. It felt like you had creative reins.
Yeah. No, I mean, well, good. That's
Yeah.
great. That's and that's true. I did have a lot of freedom on this film. Not only in the writing and then the production of the film, but also in cutting it together and finishing the film. It really kind of was always mine. It was never really forced into another shape. And I'm really grateful to A24 for giving me that freedom, and for kind of I think just from very early on understanding what the film was,
Right.
and also what the risks were, and just getting behind it. So I'm very I feel indebted to them for sure.
Has your relationship with A24 been like that pretty much since the beginning?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's been a very good. It's
Yeah.
been a very, very, very good relationship. I feel very fortunate, especially right now in this climate where
Yeah.
it's so hard to make a film, to get anything made. Which I know because I'm also I'm producing films right now, and
Right,
It's,
so
and
you know
it's,
it-
it's, it's very hard to get. Let's say. Personal films made.
Right.
Very, very hard.
It seems like the climate is improved, though, for genre films with what happened at the Oscars this year with Everything Everywhere All at Once. It seems like almost like A24 has arrived, and it makes me wonder what the future of that's going to be, because when I look at Hereditary, Tony should have been nominated for Best Actress, like 110%. Like, that was a complete snub. Her performance of that is incredible. I think if that movie would have come out next year, it might have changed. So does that ever play in your head?
I'm not so sure.
No?
I think she deserved it, but
yeah.
I think she's
Yeah,
remarkable in it. But I'm not sure if that film is very
That's disturbing.
alienating.
Yeah. But you
Yeah.
understand what I mean. It seems like there's more focus now on that studio and what's coming out of that studio. People are starting to realize, oh wow, the ones that have been in the know have been in the know for a long time. But it's
Yeah.
nice to see that light shine on them now.
Yeah, no, I'm really excited for them.
Okay,
I'm
long
excited
enough.
to be a part of
I did
what
the
they're doing.
laundry and I took a bath.
Yeah, I mean, who
So-
knows? I mean, that was kind of an
I
anomalous
did tell you 10 o'clock, did I not?
Oscar year. There are also a lot more. Well, there are a lot of new Academy members, right? Maybe that has something to do with
Oh,
it.
so you do wait for me to yell at
yeah,
you before you actually do
I'm-
anything
Well,
noted.
of course,
yell at me. I was just waiting for you
rooting
to say
for A24.
Yeah.
I know how much you
And
like
it's
to
your team.
play your game.
Joaquin is so committed to this role. He is hard to take your eyes off this entire film. I think he's in this entire film. I don't know. There's not a lot of it that he's not in.
Yeah.
He's incredible. Was it taxing on him to do this film, physically?
Yeah, but I imagine that it's always taxing on him.
Yeah, he commits.
Yeah, he always commits. I mean, it took a long
Yeah.
time to convince him.
Let
to
me
do
find
it.
out where to turn
I'm
his
not
damn
even sure-
quest
I'm not even
in,
sure if it was
or
about convincing him. Just
do this
it took a
thing
long
so I
time
can turn my quest in
to
and hit
make the final
57 so I
decision
can
to
stop
do the
playing
film.
vanilla.
I think that must always be the case with him because
He commits.
because he knows that if once he says yes, he's devoting his body and his and his self,
just him.
his
Yeah.
to whatever the film needs, and yeah, it was an amazing experience working with him. I'm really excited to work with him again. It's very it's very special what he does, and it's not just his talent because he's really, I mean, he's amazing and he has such like deep reserves of like feeling and emotion, and he's so like he's so able to just, I don't know, I mean, really he's like a deeply vulnerable person.
Yeah.
But also he has this like incredibly deep engagement with whatever he's doing, and
Oh,
like,
there he is.
he's an artist.
Yeah.
And he kind of need, the process of working with him is one of like by necessity, it's one of like rediscovery, because the thing kind of needs to keep dying so that he can jolt it back to life, but by turning another way, which then kind of forces a new engagement on my part, where I then have to pivot with him.
Right.
And it never like,
Yeah,
it's not
like
like the
flight.
writing ever changes, like the script, like, nothing ever changed in the script, but the energy around a scene would change from day to day, or through the day, in a way that was, for me, really invigorating. And so, yeah, he's really amazing.
How you doing, Postal? Now, while the Postal Services uses robots and plants across the country to manifest that is sent to the PRSS, then based on what the manifest forklift drivers bring pallets of items to the robot cell, where a mechanical arm unloads the pallets. The robot takes the items, put them on a conveyor where they are scanned, and shipping labels are attached. The AMS takes items from the conveyor, gets the zip code and location information from the system's brain, called the processing control system, drops the
You still not done yet?
I'm on the longest flight path in the world.
Nowhere near as much as I was hoping. I'm not staying home too these days, fun.
Won't work at all.
Nope, I didn't want to. I requested because I knew I was gonna be sore as fuck. Tired as fuck.
Oh, we're there yet? Oh, look at that. How about perfect timing? There's really no point in getting on my... Well, yeah, there is actually. That's a good chunk more vested XP. That's nice. Well, we'll probably do Dire Maul next, but actually, I think I said I was going to do that tomorrow, but I'm 57 now, so not going to do that. But I will be doing all these yellow ones, probably. Anyway, that save. And, honestly don't know why I should have probably end the stream before I took that flight path, but that's the end of the stream. I mean, I did stream myself hitting 57. That's important. Yeah, bye.